Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm going down a dark path right now. This is only going to be a very short live stream. Well, depending on you guys' questions and where we go. This is going to be a short live stream. I'm going to be talking about human harvesting, aliens, adrenochrome, APOPHIS, Armageddon, and the incoming invasion. Now, this video is, of course, for entertainment purposes. It's for, it's for reference only. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to connect the dots between everything that's happening now, the Epstein release, the asteroid Apophis on its way, the renewed resurgence in UFOs, and how that's gone from the fake, from the fringes to the mainstream. Now, before I get into this, I can't share it with you guys because I'll get done for copyright. There's a scene on Jupiter Ascending. And again, this movie, Jupiter Ascending, is fantastic. So for those of you guys who don't know, the movie Jupiter Ascending, it's a movie. It's an all right movie. I'd say it's a good movie. It's got Channing Tatum, and I don't really like this. It's got Channing Tatum, right? The crux of the movie is there's this intergalactic civilization, and they move from planet to planet, seeding planets with life, and then they go back and they harvest that life because they want that for themselves, right? Because the essence of life, they want to drink that or whatever, and they want to they want that for themselves. Now in that movie, they talk about some really interesting concepts, and I've not seen that concept anywhere else. But anyway, there's a scene in that movie where, like, the queen, she's explaining everything to the princess. And if you can, and if you got a chance, go and watch, go and do a search somewhere for, like, Jupiter Ascending harvesting scene or something. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, listen, let's get into this, because I want to talk about about a story that's hiding in the shadows. Just the day after President Donald Trump's earth-shattering UFO disclosure announcement, I need to lay this out for each and every one of you guys, what I think is happening. I don't think this is random. I think this is all scripted. I think it's a scripted rollout, a carefully orchestrated drip thread, and carefully orchestrated and drip thread to prepare everybody for maybe the big lie. So buckle up, because what I'm about to say, it's going to shake you to the bones, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to be connecting dots from Jeffrey Epstein to a dark alien empire, and potentially an alien fleet heading towards Earth right now. Now, I'm going to go with this because, I know I've shared this video a couple of times with you guys, but I just want to share this again, right? This is like this video, and I can't shake this video. This video was from Jeremy Corbell, and he did this January last year, before any of this happened. And you know how I always say to you guys, all the information's out there. You just need to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff. I'm taking this as credible now. I didn't know whether to take this as credible at the time. I'm now taking this as credible. Remember, a couple of days ago, I shared news with you guys a couple of days ago that Donald Trump was about to give a UFO release. He was about to release data on UFOs. Turns out it was right. So when these people say things and they come out, and like me, for instance, like 2 years ago, I said the United States are going to go into Iran March 2026. So all the information's out there. You just need to know where to look. So let's see what Jeremy Corbell says.
Is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe. It's nuanced, how they explain that, the nature of that threat. But that 100% is the lie you are going to be told. You even got a date. People have been whispering a date for a long time now. I know where that lie comes from. I know specifically What document from the 70s initiated the idea of that lie? A classified document. That is the lie you will be told. You're going to be told that there is a craft on its way to Earth. That's the lie. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I sent you 2 texts today with a year. Not from me. Nope. I'm not going to propagate that lie. Not going to be part of it. Not going to say it to the camera. Everybody knows. Just start paying attention.
In case you missed that, guys, that date was 2027. Things are just work. Things are these breadcrumbs are now being released too perfectly. The timings are just perfect.
And they'll change the date, especially if they see this. Things will change. Because maybe I'm trustworthy. Maybe I'm worthy of your trust. Maybe I've told you the truth the whole way through it. Now you can verify it. If that's the case, then I'm fucking dangerous. You've been told the truth about UFOs for a long time now. It's been pretty orchestrated. It's been pretty clear. And it's using people that are telling the truth and want to tell the truth. Ultimately, they want you to know something. They want you to know UFOs are real. Thank God we're finally there. We're all there now. They want you to know the truth. But why they want you to know that truth now? Hope I'm wrong, but it's terrifying. Think about it. Maybe it's good to get ahead of it. Call it out now before they do it. I'll be called crazy. That's okay.
So what he's saying there in that video, and I'm now taking that video as credible. I am with all the circumstantial evidence that I didn't really know where to go with this guy. With all the other evidence that's come out, the circumstantial evidence, the release of the Epstein files, right? The release of the United States saying they're going to release UFO files. All this information, right? To me, it's all leading to one direction. And the one thing that you can't deny, we've been told now for a long time that this asteroid, APOPHIS, is heading towards Earth. We've been told that, right? We've been absolutely told that. So let me try and lay everything out for you guys now as best I can, and then I'll jump onto the chat. I want to keep this live stream relatively short, guys, because I want to go in the house. I want to have a few beers, and I want to come back out for 8 o'clock. So let's start with the Epstein files, right? Let's start with the Epstein files. They've been released. Everybody's been, looking through them. People, they've been released to everyone, and people are working their way through them. Now, this has been, dropping breadcrumbs over the past couple of years, with the latest batch hitting just before Donald Trump's UFO bombshell, right? And you think it's all about naming names and exposing the elites, what they do behind closed doors. Nope. That's the surface. That's the tension water, right? The real purpose, as far as I'm concerned, is to slide the concept into everyone's consciousness of adrenochrome. Yep, I'm going down there, guys. This is something that I had to look into. So adrenochrome, the mythical elixir that conspiracy theorists, and look, guys, I'm not a chemist, right? I don't know what this stuff is. I don't know if it's real. All I know is what I'm looking at on the media, right? That's all I know. I don't know if it's real or not. So I have to keep it there, and they say the way it's harvested, like if you guys know how that's harvested, it's pretty terrifying, This is oxidized adrenaline, which is pumped full of fear hormones. Now, I'm not a chemist. I don't know if it's real or not. I kind of don't want to know. But they're saying that this keeps the powerful and rich looking young, vital, and hooked on the ultimate high. It's in those files indirectly, hints of rituals, blackmail, and, weird stuff involving the occult. References to youth serums and elite gatherings where pizza is eaten. They released it to normalize the idea and to plant the seed that adrenochrome is real, extracted the way it's extracted, not a good way. Why? Because it's the key to the end game. That's what I think this is, guys. And whether it's real or not, guys, I genuinely don't know. I'm 50-50. This could all be real. This could all be fake. I genuinely don't know. Jeremy Corbell, he could be manipulated himself, but I am seeing what I do believe what he's saying is credible. I do believe he believes it. So I think this is not the end. I think this is the beginning to the end game, right? The currency in a bigger interstellar trade. That's what I think it is, guys. I think the adrenochrome is what they talk about as essence in the movie Jupiter Ascending. That's what I think it is. Whether you guys believe it or not, you know, that's the information I'm getting. Right, and that's what I'm communicating to you. Now, if you guys fast forward to from the Epstein releases to like yesterday, the 19th. Jesus Christ! Jesus! Trump agreed to release the UFO information 666 days after the horses ran through London. The bloodstained horses ran through London. And Big Ben stopped. Jesus, I've only just thought of that. Okay, I'll come back to that. So fast forward to yesterday. Donald Trump, back in the White House, signs off on declassifying UFO files, crashed craft, non-human biologics, the works. He calls it something of tremendous public interest. But come on, guys. I think this is stage 2 of the PSYOP. The goal? To confirm aliens are real and that UAPs aren't weather balloons or drones, but craft from another world, piloted by beings who've been watching us for an amount of time, letting the harvest crop grow. Trump's not spilling the beans on those goodies, he's not spilling it out of the goodness of his heart. He's softening us up, making us accept that extraterrestrials exist. We've got whistleblowers, like there's loads of them. We've got congressional hearings, recovered alien technology, allegedly, but now it's official. Why now? Because the narrative needs believing in aliens before the hammer drops, right? That's where I'm going. I'm going there, guys. And what do I mean by the hammer? Well, you've just seen the video there, guys, okay? It's coming in 2027, just like Jeremy Corbell has been warning us about. I literally, shared it with you guys 2 minutes ago. So he was saying in that video that the lie you're going to be told, and look, I don't know if it's going to be a lie. I genuinely don't. This could either be an asteroid that's going to hit Earth and they're telling us a lie, so humans come together and they build spaceships to get people up, or whatever. I don't know. I genuinely don't know, guys. But what I do know is that this is what I'm seeing happening right now. Now, he's saying that we're going to be told that there's an alien fleet barreling towards Earth, and we're going to be told in 2027. Now, this all makes sense, and it all fits together perfectly. Now, here's where I'm going to here's where I believe it going to get, here's where I think it gets darker, and kind of real dark. Now, the lie is the cover story, but the arrival is real. Corbell's hinting at disinformation, but connect the dots and it screams preparation for contact or conquest. And I'm talking full-scale Armageddon type. Now, if you tie in the asteroid Apophis, the doomsday rock hurling through space, officially zipping past Earth, Friday the 13th of April, 2029, it's coming that close, it's going to go underneath our geostationary satellites. Doesn't sound safe to me, right? But what if, remember, Apophis is named after the Egyptian god of chaos. What if that is the perfect smokescreen as the alien fleet approaches? What if that's the smokescreen for when the aliens approach? And in 2029, that's when we find out that's when the aliens are coming. And guys, look, we then find out that, listen, the aliens are coming and they are coming to harvest our adrenochrome. That's what I'm seeing from the information that I've got, guys. And I know that's wild. It's why I'm only doing this as a short live stream. It's why I didn't want to get this involved with my other stuff where I ground it more in reality. But I'm genuinely seeing that, guys, now. I'm genuinely seeing that. But look at the pieces of the puzzle, right? Look at the stuff that's happened in the last 6 months, right? Is this madness, right? Maybe. But look at these pieces of the puzzle fitting together perfectly. Epstein files, right? They introduce everybody, me included, me included. They introduce everybody to adrenochrome and, how it is. Trump then confirms aliens. Previously to this, Jeremy Corbell's come out and he's saying, yeah, we're going to be told in 2027 that there's an alien, craft heading slowly towards us. And then it just turns out that there is an asteroid heading slowly towards us and it's going to be here in 2029. Tell me that those timings don't add up, guys. Please tell me those timings don't add up and there's a logical explanation for everything that's happening, because I can't find it. I can't find the logical explanation for everything that's happening. Right, let me jump onto the chat, guys. Let me jump onto the chat because I know we're going wild and I'm already over my time. Debbie Doobs is saying, how do they harvest the adrenochrome? It's brutal. I'm not going to talk about it, Debbie. You're going to have to Google it. I'm not going to talk about that. Mickey Yo is saying discombobulated aliens. I don't know what that means. I don't know what discombobulated aliens. I don't know what that means. I have no idea what that means. Rod Panhard is saying 2029, take a page from the professional climate catastrophers and push out your narrative for a decade at least. Then you can milk it for longer. You get found out. Yeah. No, listen, guys, I'm giving you that because this asteroid is on its way here, Apophis, and it is coming and it's due to make its closest pass Friday the 13th of April, 2029. That's when it's coming, right? Now, again, I don't have access to any telescopes that can see this. I don't have access to government data that is, legitimate. All I know is what we're being told from mainstream media, right? Ital Irish bro is saying, I think the real alien story is a story that tells a real story, but they're using an allegory for other things. Right, can you give me more context? I don't know what that means. When does the invasion get here? Listen, Crow, with a fantastic thumbnail, I think the invasion is, if it is coming and if it is real, I think it's going to be here April 2029. John is saying, do you know what Israel 6G is getting rolled out over the West? I have no idea what that means. They are tapping into your nervous system eventually, and that will decide your feet. What? That will decide your feet. I don't know. Do you mean fate? What do you mean? John, what do you mean that will decide your feet? I've no idea what that means, mate. I don't know what that means. Rod Panhard is saying, why do the aliens only ever visit the US and nowhere else? A vast planet culture. So I think there's something specific in the Nevada desert. I do. I think there is something in the Nevada desert that they go to. Like if you were an alien, right? Hang on, let me think about this. So I've got an ant's nest in the garden, right? I've got an ant's nest in the garden. I know where it is. Every year I go down and it always comes back. It literally always comes back. More or less the same place, right? Every year. Those ants will be saying, how come the other ants' nests that are in the other side of the garden, nobody ever comes and sprays the white powder of doom on them? And it's because I don't know they're there. In the opposite way to that, if there was some sort of alien base and it was in Nevada, or there was something particular in Nevada that, the aliens kept coming and going for, it would make sense that they just go there, right? Tony is saying, I believe there's a whole nother race of beings in Antarctica. So as the theory goes, right, the Atlanteans, 10,500 years ago, when there was the cataclysm, the Younger Dryas cataclysm, the theory is that the Atlanteans fled Earth. Sorry, didn't fled Earth. The Atlanteans were living on the western Mauritania, I think it is now. If you guys want to look at the Richat structure in western Mauritania, I think it is. I think it's in the western Mauritanian desert. I don't know where it's called. You know, that fits the description of Atlantis perfectly. Now, if the Atlanteans back in whenever it was 10,500 years ago had the power of flight and they were a technologically advanced civilization back then, and they fled to Antarctica and just stayed down there, their technology now would be indistinguishable from human technology. We would look at that and we would consider that to be alien. So yeah, that could be the case. Right, listen, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to close this down. I only wanted this to be a live stream, short live stream. I'm going to be back on at the normal time of 8 o'clock, and we are going to be talking about mainstream events. We're going to talk about global events. The situation in Ukraine is descending. The situation in the Middle East is getting worse. The whole world is about to pop. And as a backdrop, we've got Aliens, Adrenochrome, Apophis, and Armageddon to look forward to. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, if you've not done so already, please make sure you hit those buttons, like, comment, subscribe, all those things that help me out. I'll be back on at 8 o'clock, and I'll see you guys later.